So what would you say then? So if you've got somebody else, and maybe you know exactly what you're going to say because you've said it before to other kids and people that have gone through this before, but is anybody out there that's watching, listening to our conversation right now that maybe is going through some of their own monsters, be it their own sexuality, be it their own other maybe alternative identity, or just struggling to, maybe they're on the spectrum and they're just kind of struggling to fit in with the rest of society, and they feel that any aversion from that to try to, or anxiety that's induced for trying to fit in and to be that so-called normal, and ultimately fighting their own monsters, what would you say to them? Is there anything you would say to them to help them either defeat the monsters or be okay with them, or ultimately just sort of be who they're supposed to be because of their monsters?
Yeah. Well, look, again, it's the Clive Barker thing. Sometimes our monsters are our most beautiful asset. Coming to realize that is very, very, very difficult and often very confronting. My advice to anyone going through that stuff is don't give up, and to always ask for help. And these type of revelations make you feel incredibly alone. And whilst no one who is feeling that alone ever believes this, but you are not alone. And being able to connect with others and to not be alone is easier now than it ever has been. Although don't read the Fallen Boys, because there could be like nefarious content. Oh yes. Which kind of taps into that, which is a thing with my work, because they all interconnect. So whilst that might sound hopeful in regards to Dirty Heads, it does feed into the Fallen Boys, because all of these stories do interconnect in very, very subtle ways, and not everyone's picked up on. But don't give up. I think the message, it really needs to be those who are supporting people who go through this type of stuff, which is that when you realize that you're something, that person's whole world changes. Like the world jolts out from under your feet, and the readjustment that is required requires everything that person may have been expecting of themselves and what other people have been expecting of them to be readjusted and to be rebuilt. And for me, I can only speak about my experience, but that meant, rethinking my thoughts around children, marriage, schooling, work, relationships, sex, sexuality, news, clothes, everything had to change. And I got there, but not everyone does. And that's why, for example, LGBTI plus kids kill themselves. It's why they kill themselves. It's because the earth doesn't just shift, it can crack and you fall. And so I think that the message is to those who love those who are struggling. And it loops it back exactly into what we were talking about earlier in our conversations in regards to the people that we both work with, which is that be there, empathize, and connect, and allow that person to emerge from that on their own, because the more you try to yank them out of it, the more they will fall. And it's inelegant, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes when you care for someone. It is a crime to think that caring must be perfection, because that is a trap. That is a trap.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Dark Bites, your destination for uncovering the greatest voices working in dark culture entertainment today. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And most importantly, please do give the like button some skin, because it not only declares your mutual love for this dark thing of ours, but it also tells YouTube algorithm powers that be to spread the word about this channel's content, which ultimately helps us all out. Thanks for visiting Dark Bites. I appreciate you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I do hope you'll come back again. Until then, fellow horror lovers, stay hungry, stay dark.